If you're anything like me, then you have your cell phone on you at all times. But you may be surprised to hear about the health risks associated with prolonged contact with cell phones. Let's go to Dr. Devra Davis, founder of Environmental Health Trust and the author of the book Disconnect, to learn more about what she calls practicing safe phone.
A cell phone is a two-way microwave radio. It should never be kept directly next to the body. That's why cell phones themselves come with warnings that say that they must be kept at least 10 millimeters off of the body. Cell phones are two-way microwave radios. They're constantly seeking signals, and when they do that, half of the radiation from the phone gets into whatever it is next to. The breast is mostly fat and fluid, and it absorbs cell phone energy, which is microwave radiation. We cook things in microwave ovens with the same radiation at the same frequency as we use with a cell phone, but a cell phone is 1,000 times or more weaker than a microwave oven. Still, you want to protect the breast from being exposed to this weak microwave radiation. For young women, doctors who work at the top institutions of this country have reported cases of very young women with unusual breast tumors. The tumors occur right where they kept the cell phone, in the center of their chest. Normally, breast cancer occurs in the upper outer quadrant. These tumors have occurred very unusually in the location in the center of the chest, and they've occurred in two young women who are age 21. Normally, 21-year-olds do not get breast cancer. These women, all of them reported in this case series report, had no known risk factors for the disease. They had not inherited the BRCA mutation. They were relatively healthy and thin, but they got breast cancer simply because they kept the cell phone in the center of their chest. While we can't prove that was the cause, the unusual location of the tumors gives these scientists cause for concern, and that's why Environmental Health Trust wants you to protect your chest and never keep a cell phone in the bra. Many governments advise that children not use cell phones. Recently, Belgium banned the sale or marketing of cell phones to children aged 7 or younger, something that Turkey has done, and so has France. The reason these countries recommend that children not use cell phones is that a child's brain is still developing. It doubles in the first year of life, and a child's skull is thinner. The brain contains more fluid. Fluid is what allows us to heat things in a microwave oven. You don't want to expose a child's rapidly developing brain to cell phone radiation. If you must give a child a cell phone to distract them, put it on airplane mode so that it's not sending or receiving a signal from a tower. We need to use cell phones safely, just like we use cars safely. We have seat belts and airbags in cars. We need to use phones at a certain distance with a headset or a speakerphone. All phones come today with warnings written or in the fine print or buried inside the phone, and they say, keep the cell phone off the body. The reason for that is that when a phone is held directly next to the body, half of the radiation from the phone gets right into whatever the phone is next to. We can practice safe phone and be safer in how we use these devices. When you're sleeping, your phone is not. So if you have your phone left next to you or under the head of your bed, every 900 milliseconds, it's checking for a signal from the tower and sending one back. So as a consequence, the cell phone, while you're sleeping, is still working, sending microwave radiation back and forth to a tower. If you want to use a cell phone for an alarm clock, put it on airplane mode so that it's not sending and receiving microwave radiation more than once a second. Many cell phone manufacturers advise that cell phones not be kept next to the abdomen of a pregnant woman or teenagers. And this is because there are studies that have found that men who keep cell phones in their pockets have half the sperm count of men who don't keep phones in their pockets as long. In fact, studies from the Cleveland Clinic have found that if you take sperm from healthy men and one test tube of sperm gets exposed to cell phone radiation, and the other test tube has no exposure, that the cell phone radiation-exposed sperm will die 3 times faster and develop 3 times more damage onto the DNA of the sperm that gives them the engines to fuel their movement. And sperm need to be as strong, as many as possible. Men who use cell phones more frequently than others have weaker sperm and lower sperm counts. The safest way to use the cell phone is to keep it on airplane mode, as I do now, and have it with a headset when you want it turned on, so that you are protecting yourself by reducing the direct radiation that comes from the phone. You can use a speakerphone or a headset. Don't use the phone when the signal is weak, because when the signal is weak, the phone has to work harder to get radiation from and to the tower, and half of that radiation will get into your body. Remember that distance is your friend. Don't sleep with your phone, and certainly don't text and drive or bike or ski, because that, of course, introduces a whole other set of dangers. Avoid keeping the phone directly next to the body, just like the manufacturers tell you. The Commonwealth Club of San Francisco will be hosting an eminent group of expert scientists who will talk about the latest studies showing that cell phone radiation can damage developing brains, liver, and skin in animals that are experimentally exposed. We will hear from scientists from Turkey as well as Saudi Arabia who have conducted studies in the laboratory and have found that mice prenatally exposed to cell phone radiation develop offspring that have smaller brains and more brain damage. We'll also be talking to representatives of the City of San Francisco Department of the Environment, who will be rolling out their new approach to inform citizens of San Francisco about how they can use cell phones more safely. And we'll be hearing from some local politicians from the City of Berkeley and the City of San Francisco about ways that they want to work to inform people so that everyone has a right to know how to use phones in a safer way. We can't really call it a smartphone if it kills brain cells. And there are simple things you can do now to protect yourself and your family. And that's what we're going to be doing at the Commonwealth Club event on December 9th in the city of San Francisco from 10:30 to 2 p.m.
If you are a cell phone addict and want to learn more about Dr. Devra Davis's safe phone tips, then you can visit environmentalhealthtrust.org. I'm Angelina Nunziato, and thank you for watching Corporate Profile.